सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Hari Om. So, we are starting this prayer to pay our gratitude to the entire Guru Parampara, starting from Lord Shiva down to Vyasa ji, to Adi Shankaracharya ji, to the present Gurus that we had been fortunate enough to be blessed with. Maybe not through their direct presence, but maybe through some or the other books that we have referred to, some or the other talks that we have referred to. Among them, of course, is our Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji, whose 108th year of birth celebration we are having this year. Now, such is the glory of this knowledge, of this Brahma Vidya, that has been passed on from generation to generation, from the rishis who could directly connect, to the Brahma, through the thought waves which were passed on, right? And therefore we are saying that this knowledge that has come to us, that of the Vedas, it is that which is apaurushaya. It is not that we can attribute it to one certain person. And therefore, it is said to be the Sanatana Dharma. It is that which is ever living. It is not something which has come about as someone's opinion, but it is that knowledge which has been passed on for ages, and we cannot really say that it is out of some human intellection that it has come, right? But in order that we understand this knowledge in the present day, right, and that we benefit from it, we understand the relevance of it even in the present times and that of many, many, many generations to come. For this, we need the Mahatmas, the Guru Parampara, which has never ever compromised on this knowledge and has passed it on to us in a format, in a form, in a language, so that we benefit from it. Be it Vyasa ji, who compiled the Vedas into a written format so that it becomes available to us, right? And he basically partitioned it into four Vedas, that is the Sama, Rig, Sama, Yajur and Atharvana, right? So and then we had someone like Adi Shankaracharya ji, who re-established this through the bhashyas, through the commentaries in Sanskrit, so that wherever there is a shloka, there is a mantra which might not be understood in the right context, given that there are so many opinions, given that there are so many different darshanas, So there was the Mimamsas, there was the Dvaita, there was those who were worshipping nature, there was Tantra, there was those who were using logic to understand, and each darshana was employing the knowledge in the way that they wanted, right? And in an era when there was so much of confusion, right, where Buddhism was very much alive in various parts of India, right, and various kings had given up protection of this Bharat Bhumi, then is where Adi Shankaracharya ji came in. Not only, and in a short lifespan of 32 years, not only did he write commentaries on the Upanishads, on the Bhagavad Gita and the Brahma Sutra, which is said to be the Prasthanatrayi. So during these talks, I will be using Sanskrit words, but I will also be explaining them in context. Okay, So we should not and need not feel any kind of, kind of dread from these Sanskrit words. Okay, the Sanskrit language was our language, is our language, and it is only our fear that is keeping us from knowing this knowledge. And Sanskrit is that which is it is a medium to unlock this whole treasure trove of wisdom for us. And we need not, that which is a key is a tool. It's a tool, it's an instrument for us to know that or gain that treasure, right? So therefore, what should we do? If there is any word which is not understood, write down. Even if it is an English word also, we can, you can go to the dictionary, you can Google it, understand what it is, right? And so too, same way only, even the Sanskrit words we will understand. And Bhagavad Gita is a beautiful text, manual of unfoldment, that will also introduce us to this language which is called the Sanskrit Bhasha. So this Dev Bhasha which is there, it is conveying us these truths. So going back to what we are saying, so we had Acharyas such as Adi Shankaracharya ji, who have written beautiful commentaries on this text, and so to the Upanishads, to unlock the mysteries within, to decipher, to help us decipher it. He had written the commentaries. And then, of course, and not only was he writing commentaries, he also went across the length and breadth of Bharat Bhumi, and established the mathas, various schools where this knowledge could be learnt. And not just that, then he also established the temples, gave them the culture of how the puja vidhi etc. is to be done. And now too, if we go even to places like Badrinath, Kedarnath, the Char Dham, the mathas, they are following those systems and taking forward this knowledge, propagating this knowledge for our benefit. So never is this knowledge that which has to be confined to the books alone. And to make this essentially flow to us, to make this knowledge essentially flow to us, we had the Mahatmas such as Swami Chinmayananda ji, the Gita Acharya of modern times as he was referred to, who took this knowledge and gave it to us in the language of the masses of that time, which was English. And he said that, why should this knowledge be confined to one strata of people who can only access it through Sanskrit? Let it flow like the Ganges. Inspired by the Ganga, one who was himself a skeptic, who had gone to the Himalayas, to Rishikesh, right? Or he had gone there to uncover the false, those false rishis, and staying there, coming across someone like Swami Shivananda, Swami Chinmayananda ji discovered the hidden wealth of the scriptures and became someone who wanted to understand this knowledge to its depth. So not only did he stay there and gain the knowledge from Swami Shivananda, and thereafter from Taponji Maharaj, staying on the banks of the Ganga, listening to her gurgling sound and seeing how she flows down to the plains and gives of herself to all people, he was inspired to take on this project of giving this knowledge of the Vedas, of the Prasthanatrayi to all people. And this was in a time when India was very newly, she had broken free from the chains of the British rule, and there was a lot of chaos. And that's when he went to each and every city of India, of Bharat Bhumi, and spoke of the Gita, spoke of the Upanishad in a language which all of us could understand. So, offering our salutations to Swami Chinmayananda ji, we'll start this text, right? So he was called the Gita Acharya. So, and we among the Ashtotras, one of the names is Om Gita Jnana Yajna Pracharakaya Namaha. He is the one who thought of this knowledge as that which is to be taken as an instruction for us to live our daily lives, so that we can implement it in each and every sphere of our life. Wherever we have doubts, it should be such that, this book of the Gita should be accessible to us in our hands. We should be able to go to its each line. One is to chant it, have it kanthastha. What is kanthastha? Be able to chant it freely. It should be something that we'll know to chant and say it very effortlessly, sing it very effortlessly. 2 is to not just have it kanthastha, to have it in our hearts, to know its meaning, to understand its meaning, and then bring it forth in our day-to-day lives by living its values. How? By only once we know, then only can we live it, right? So from being kanthastha to hridayastha to lokastha, to living it in the life, so that there is a harmony in my interactions with the world. There is no kind of melancholy key. Which way should I go? Should I go this way or that way? Is dharma required? What is dharma? Am I in a situation of fight it or flee from it? Fight it or quit it? What should I do? Whom should I ask? Who is going to answer these questions for me? How should I make decisions for myself? When problems come like an avalanche, what should I do? Is there really God or no? So there are so many questions that we might have, and we really, sometimes want to know, what is my purpose? What is my purpose and how do I live it to the best? When there are so many distractions in the world, how is it that I remain centered? Is this knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita or any of the scriptures, is it something that is of the past? Is it something that is limited to an era which is foregone, cannot really be brought into living right now? How do I even access it when it is in Sanskrit and I can't even chant it? Do I have to chant it? There are people who will ask, do I have to chant it? Do I have to know Sanskrit? Do I have to chant the words? If I don't chant it, will I not know, will I not go forward with this knowledge? So one is that we need not have such fears. The essential message of the Bhagavad Gita is what? It is Ma Shucha. So Bhagavan at various points is telling Arjuna, don't take tension. Ma Shucha, don't be in such grief, don't be in sorrow. There is nothing in this world which should make you feel depressed, is what he's telling, right? So then you might say, but then that is told to Arjuna, how does it apply to me? So this applying to me part of it is what we are going to see. It is not just, it is of course Arjun ka leke bahana, Prabhu humko bhi taro, right? That is what Krishna has done. He has taken the nimitta, he has taken the opportunity of this dialogue with Arjuna to give us this knowledge. So you might say, basically, what is the eligibility for someone to study this text? So when we say that, what is the eligibility? So, if we look at this Prasthanatrayi, the 3 major texts that we are looking at. Prasthanatrayi is what? The 3 major texts that we look at. One is the Upanishads. Okay. So Upanishads are what? Upanishads are said to be the Shruti Pramana. Shruti Pramana, you might ask, what is Shruti Pramana now? So Shruti Pramana is that which is that, when we said it is apurusheya. It came as thought waves, right? It came as that Shabda Pramana. Shabda, sound. Okay? Shabda here, when we say, Shabda in common parlance is going to be what? Shabda in common parlance, we will say it is word, right? But here word cannot be without sound, right? So this is Shabda Pramana. So when we say it is Shruti Pramana, it is not something which, not something which came through one person. It was revealed to those Rishi Munis who were in that pure thought frame. Pure thought frame where they could easily contain that knowledge, So therefore it is said that, what is essential for anyone is that purity. Purity of the mind is essential to contain any knowledge, right? Now you might say that purity of mind, you mean to say I am not of pure mind. Where is the dirt in the mind? So here the purity in the mind means there where there is no agitation, where the mind is in its original form. Whereas when we are in connect with the world, how is it? When we are in connect with the world, one desire, one thought is sufficient to cause an agitation. One thought, next thought will be I like or I don't like. The raga and dvesha, right? When I say I like, then next one will be I want, right? If I want, I get. Then what do I want? Then there is greed for more. If I don't, if I don't get, there is bound to be anger of some sort. So what basically we are trying to say is that in the ancient times, in the age of the rishis, when there was that purity of mind, this knowledge could easily be revealed to these rishis, right? And that came as the Upanishadic knowledge, mantras. And so therefore it is also said Mananatrayate iti mantraha. Right? So this Upanishads is these mantras. And what are the Upanishads conveying? They are conveying that essence of the Vedas, which is said to be the Brahma Vidya. Okay? So that is sufficient for us to know for now. Right? So when we say that Upanishads are said to be the Shruti Pramana. They are said to be the Shruti Pramana. Then when we say that, okay, then next part of the Prasthanatrayi is what? Next part of the Prasthanatrayi is that Shruti Pramana. Shruti Pramana is the Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, not Shruti, Smriti Pramana. So, first one, Upanishads is the Shruti Pramana. Next one, Bhagavad Gita is the Smriti Pramana. Smriti, that which is remembered. So, that which was revealed, and next one is that which is remembered. Right? That knowledge which had come down from the rishis to the next line of, disciples. So, it would have been, rethought of, right? Or remembered, recollected. Smriti. And that is said to be the Smriti Pramana, which is the Bhagavad Gita. Now, third one of the Prasthanatrayi is the Brahma Sutra. So, Brahma Sutra, this is of course the compilation of certain mantras from the Upanishads in order to clarify their actual purport through logical understanding. So, this is said to be the Nyaya Prasthana. So first was Shruti Prasthana, which is the Upanishads. Second is the Smriti Prasthana, which is Bhagavad Gita. And third is the Brahma Sutra, which is the Nyaya Prasthana. Nyaya Prasthana here is in order to do some logical intellection analysis on these certain mantras from the Upanishads, which might have some kind of a vagueness. In order to bring in the understanding, Vyasa ji alone has compiled these Brahma Sutras. And then of course to explain these, Adi Shankaracharya ji has written the Bhashya on this in Sanskrit. So when we say the Upanishads, right? Upanishads, again part of the Vedas. Then we had the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita also, it was part of the Mahabharata. Mahabharata became the entire context. And of course this was also penned by Vyasa ji. And then came the Mahabharata also, we call it the Itihasa Purana. Itihasa Purana, that Itihasa, thus it happened. It was part of the history. History which was journaled in by Vyasa ji, that is said to be the Mahabharata, right? And one portion of that is the Bhagavad Gita, which is the essential dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna. And what is this Bhagavad Gita revealing? It is revealing our own true nature, which is nothing but the essence of those, of the Upanishadic mantras. So, therefore, this Prasthanatrayi and Brahma Sutra is that which is taking certain verses and giving clarity on those based on the doubts which came forward, right? So, if we see this, right, one was that you had Vyasa ji who compiled this entire knowledge, right? And then you had, in order that, we understand it, we gain the purport of it, you had someone like Adi Shankaracharya ji who has written Bhashya, commentary on this, right? And then of course in present times we had someone like Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda ji who has written the English commentary on it and brought in the relevance of it in order that we who are in the present generation facing the present kind of struggles can understand it better, can apply it better, right? So when we see this, now we saw that the Prasthanatrayi, right? Prasthanatrayi, which is Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and the Brahma Sutra. Now for the first one, which is Upanishads, normally we need to be an adhikari, to be that eligible student to understand. There is the qualification. So what is this qualification, you might ask? So there is this Sadhana Chatushtaya. This is a term, Sadhana Chatushtaya, the means. Sadhana is the means, right? Chatushtaya, fourfold qualifications. Okay. So what are the fourfold qualifications? There is a Viveka. Viveka, discrimination between what is right and wrong. What is Nitya, Anitya? What is that which is eternal, permanent? And what is that which is impermanent, temporary, ephemeral? So, Nitya, Anitya Viveka, that is said to be the Viveka. Then you have Vairagya. So, out of this discrimination, that detachment or dispassion that one develops to certain things, right? So that is said to be the Vairagya. And then you have Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. Then you have these sixfold wealth, again which is the qualifications, which is Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. We'll take these later also, they will come. So this sixfold qualifications, wealth, which is required as discipline in order to gain clarity in this knowledge. Not just clarity, there is also purity required, as we said, right? Because not only do I need to grasp that knowledge, I need to also have clarity in it. So there is that chitta shuddhi and chitta ekagrata, right? But in order for that to happen, I should have these qualifications. And more than anything, there is the fourth qualification, which is mumukshutva. Mumukshutva, that deep urge that says that I need to know what am I missing in this overall plan which Bhagwan has given to me. I am struggling and I am seeing that yes, in certain certain fields I am doing well, in certain fields I am struggling like anything. There is joys, there is temporary victories, but nothing is giving me that substantial sense of satisfaction. There is, I have best of everything available to me at my fingertips. But yet, why is it that I am not ever feeling that now I have reached that ultimate, I have reached that pinnacle. Even if I reach that pinnacle, how long is that happiness lasting for me? So where is that ultimate sweet spot for me which will keep me happy forever? Where is that missing block? There must be something which is my essential purpose, which is my essential happiness. So why am I not getting that? So this kind of dissatisfaction which is leading me to understand my own purpose is what we call as that deep urge to know that truth, okay, which we call as mumukshutva. So these are the fourfold qualifications, the sadhana chatushtaya, for us to go towards that knowledge. Now, in order to go towards that knowledge, of course, when we are saying that, we are saying, okay, for the Upanishads it is like this. And of course, following up in that, you have the Brahma Sutra, which is giving us further clarity on certain concepts which come up in the Upanishads, but I am not able to gain a clarity, clear understanding of that concept in the Upanishad or their commentary itself. So for doing this, the Brahma Sutras are there. Now Bhagwan says, let me give a reprieve to people. Those who are saying, boss, I am not so technical. I don't want to go to the, you are saying Vedas and all. I am never going to see myself go and read any Sanskrit, etc. Now, give me something which is easy, something, which is a tool for me to go forward. I should not be reading big commentaries. Something that, I pick up a book, I just read 2 lines and bulb, that idea bulb is shining. So, what is that? You give me something like this. So, there is where Bhagavan Vedvyas ji came with this genius of Bhagavad Gita, if we may say so. Because there is this text which has come up right where is it, where is it being played? It is in the it is in the scenario of this great battle which is going to take place. And this great battle, it is a tussle between the good and the bad, between dharma and adharma, basically between decision and indecision. Okay, because you might say that, I don't even know what is dharma and what is adharma. So give me something still more simple to follow, which can apply to my day-to-day context. Whether I should apply for this job or no, whether when I'm thinking of doing a particular course, should it be something which is as per the popularity, or should it be something that is going to benefit me 5 years from now, or should it be something that is going to just give me satisfaction of doing it, satisfaction of my heart. So what should I do? How should I plan my day? How should I plan my life? And when you say that life is ephemeral, then how should I go about living my life? So when these kind of questions are there, then Bhagavad Gita is that answer for us. And therefore it is said to be that manual for our life. Just as any gadget now comes with a manual. Not that most of us will not look at that manual, right? How many of us just immediately go and, not even only there. Now though we have people who are eager to put that gadget into our hands. Sign off right now. Google Pay kar lijiye. Take it right now. I will install everything for you. You want your contacts transferred? I'll do it for you. You want your email configured? I'll do it for you. So everything is ready and accessible. So why should I then go to the manual, right? But in this, in this whole rigmarole game of our life, what happens? One is to we forget that it is a game. So if it is a game, then what is there? Should I just go and start playing? Install ho gaya abhi, immediately start playing, because my opponent is my my nephew, and he's already scored, and he has challenged me. So how should I go about? Fine. But for that also, for any game, yes, we might have the joy of playing, but the joy of playing will become manifold if there is no confusion in our mind. And for that, we should know the rules of the game. Right? So, one is that Bhagavad Gita is going to provide us the rules of this game. How should I get out of certain situations? How should I earn those extra points? How should I, be upgraded for the next version? What should I do? What are the tricks that I should keep so that I conquer my sleep, so that I don't snooze the alarm? So all these kind of small tricks also Bhagwan is going to provide to us in this beautiful song, the Bhagavad Gita. And therefore, when we say, one is that two problems that we don't look at things right, is that one, we don't see it that this is a game, and that game, if it has a start, it has an end. Okay, so it has a start, it has an end. It is a game. I should play it. I should also enjoy it. So I should be able to witness it. I should not get so embroiled in it that every loss is going to pinch me to the core, and make me fall down. If I fall also, what is there? I can come up again, right? Come up or bounce back in such a way that I get 2-3 more higher ups, as one might say, right? So one is to know the rules of the game. Two is that unfortunately, in our enthusiasm to play, we forget that what is given to us is an equipment, is a tool. What is this equipment of this body, this mind, this decision making faculty that we might call the intellect, right? What is it? It is a tool. It's an instrument for me to interact with this world. But in my ignorance, what have I done? In my ignorance, I have taken this to be me. I have identified to such an extent that this kind of confusion which has come to me, I have been thinking of these instruments as myself. I have thought of this body as me. So any pain to the body, I am in pain. Any remark from the world towards me, be it good or bad, I feel it is me. I feel, they'll say that, someone doesn't smile at me. What is wrong? Why can't people be nice? Why can't they, say some hi, hello? Forget of Jai Shri Krishna. They will not even say hi, hello nowadays. Why? Because they are all in the phone like this. If you are walking across a street also, people will be like this. If you are in a lift also, people will be like this. People sitting on one sofa, some watching that television, it's like that, right? When this has come to that, what happens? That emotional turmoil, that state of the mind, I take it as my state. If someone is, praising me, if someone is sending me hearts, big smile, right? But these ups and downs that the mind faces, I take as my ups and downs. The scoring which happens in the world, the connect which happens with the world, whatever transactions happen, I take it as my gains and losses, right? So again, that mind is what? That mind is my equipment, but I take it as me. So thus is my life. This is my journey of my life, where though I began the journey thinking that it's a game, but what did I forget? That I am only a player in that game, right? While I'm in the game, I'm only a player in that game. But apart from that game, I have my own true identity, which I have forgotten. Because I have got so much engaged with that game, I feel that this is it. This is my life. This is do or die. And in that, I have forgotten what is my own true nature, that of Sat-Chit-Ananda. That is, that pure existence, Sat, that Chit, that consciousness, which its nature itself is knowledge, right? And then Ananda, that Ananta, that infiniteness of myself, of my nature, which gives me that feeling of true bliss, which in the worldly parlance we will call as Ananda or happiness, right? But what has happened? Through my limited identity, I have forgotten my infinitude. I have forgotten that I don't have any birth and death. I have forgotten that happiness is not in the small joys of the world, which is there now, gone the next, right? And therefore, I am so entangled in this world of ups and downs that even having everything, I am at a loss, right? So Arjuna's essential problem, which he spoke of to Lord Krishna, who was his charioteer. He had the best charioteer with him, right? And he was facing this melancholy and he was thinking, these are my own people, how do I battle with them? So he posed that question to Lord Krishna and he was asking, should I fight or should I flee from this battlefield? What should I do? What is dharma? What is adharma? You tell me. And he said it in such a substantially justified way, one might say, that that the world will be convinced that yes, Arjuna is right. He's in such a confusion and he must escape from this. The best way out for him is to flee, right? But yet, is that going to lead to dharma? No. So Lord Krishna, he takes this opportunity and he says, yes, I can just give him a small set of, one small little instruction to my friend saying what is exactly dharma. Arjuna, have you forgotten? He could have just admonished him and that's it. In 2 lines, he would have got him to fight the battle. But no, that was not what Krishna's intention was. He was a true friend. And more than that, he was a true teacher, where he wanted that his disciple, this Arjuna, he should not just understand what is right or wrong. He should also understand why he has come to this kind of an indecision. Now we should also understand Arjuna is not someone who is, he's not someone one darpok. No. You might call him someone who is willing to, you might think of him as someone who has lost the battle even before it started. But Arjuna was a great warrior. He was an ace warrior. He was skilled in all ways. He had been trained by the best in the art of warfare. He was well equipped in himself. And that was also proved, when he was asked, when he had gone for the Swayamvara, where Draupadi was there, right? We should not forget that incident where the fish was right on top, right? Fish was down. Okay? Fish was down in the pond and he had to look up at the mirror and shoot at the fish below, and he could do it very, very accurately. So, not just was he a skilled warrior, he was also equipped with the best of divine weapons that he had gained through great tapas. So he had done he had gone on, traveled to different places, tirthas, appeased great lords such as even the Lord Shiva, who had come down as the Kirata Shiva and given him the Dhanush. So he was a skilled warrior, he was efficient, he was well equipped also. And yet he was facing this indecision in the battle where he was aware of that battle. It was not just that, he woke up one day and he had to go and fight the Kauravas. No, he knew well before. He had also gone, the very morning where even Duryodhana had approached Krishna. That very morning he was also present there. And he had sat at the foot of the bed where Krishna was lying down. And Duryodhana had of course come earlier and was sitting next to at the headrest of Lord Krishna. And when Krishna woke up, the first thing he did was he saw Arjuna. Not that he was not aware. So he was pretending at first, but he was aware, and when he asked, he gave the two options. He said, of course he is also Krishna, though it might seem that he is playing these tricks, but he was also playing the dharma to the core. So he gave two options. He said, you can have my entire armed forces, the best of the Yadus, they will be there with you, or you can have me alone. That's your choice. And he gave that choice first to Arjuna, and Arjuna said, Bhagwan, why should I opt for anything else? I want you. I just want you to be beside me. That's all I need. I don't need any other army or any other thing from you. Your best of resources, it can go to someone else, but I want you. And of course, Duryodhana was, he was most happy. He wanted the battle forces alone. Right? So Arjuna, of course, knew the pros and cons of this battle before he went over there. And yet, what happened? He broke down. Right there on the battlefield, he dropped his weapons. Now, when we look at this and we see ourselves also, we might also have the best of skills. We might be in the best of positions. We might have the best of resources also available to us. We can't say that we don't have. Okay? In all ways, when we compare, we will have the upper hand in various ways. And yet what happens? What happens is, somewhere there is a glitch. Somewhere we come to this point where we are not able to decide. There is some kind of confusion. And all we want to do is gain someone's counsel to tell us what exactly is the right way. And here we are in this land of the rishis, this land of the wisdom, the eternal wisdom we might say, right? which is the Sanatana Dharma, then why does this happen to us? Where we have such great ideologies to look up to, why does this happen to us? This happens mainly, of course, because we don't have this holistic vision, where we are looking at these temporary blocks of time, these temporary ups and downs, and then deciding our course of life. We are not seeing life as a whole or lifetimes as a whole. We are taking ourselves as this limited person. So where we have not understood our core essence, what is our true nature, right? And because of this, what has happened? Because of this, the secondary problems have arisen. So my root problem is not knowing my essential nature, right? And that was the problem of Arjuna also, right? Where he was thinking that I'm going to fight and so many are going to die. This is definitely an adharmic kind of a battle. So what should I do, Krishna? So here Krishna has taken the opportunity to give us the life lesson. That one, know your true nature. And this is basically the gist of how we should see this theme of the Bhagavad Gita. One is to know our true nature. Two is to understand the world and the art of right contact, as Gurudev would call it, right? Art of right contact with the world. Understand one, who am I? Two is, what is this world and how should I connect with this world? And not get identified with this equipment which is given to me, right? And this, when once I know, right, it will lead to me knowing how to live in this world at large, right? It is like, when you say that, it is said when you see in the footprint of the elephant lies the footprint of all other creatures, they say, So what happens? So when we know this holistic vision of the Bhagavad Gita, right? Or rather, when we know the holistic vision of what is my true nature, right? Then all that is, all the other problems that I see in life, they will be just contained in it. The solutions to that will just rise like this. Okay. So this Bhagavad Gita therefore is said to be the Margadarshaka. It is said to be that which is the manual of self-unfoldment. So that is something which we should dwell on. So once we understand the roadmap of what this Gita is, how is it relevant to me? How will I be able to live my life better to the full, to understand its essential purpose, and then walk that path, then rest of the problems are as good as taken care of, right? So once you know the big, the remaining will just fall into place, is what is told, right? So that is what this Bhagavad Gita is, right? So decision, indecision, that is something which at each point Bhagavan is, clarifying for Arjuna. So much so that, what starts is, in the first chapter, of course, is the kind of grief, the Arjuna Vishada Yoga, it said, right? The grief that Arjuna is undergoing because of his confusion. The second chapter starts with that again, where he summarizes that Bhagwan, here I put down myself, I bow down, now you tell me how should I go. You have become my Sarthi, now you give me the solution. And then Krishna, with a smile, he gives Arjuna the right vision. So initially he starts with the Advaita Vedanta, right? The philosophy of Advaita Vedanta, where he tells of this universal truth, and then further he goes through each of these, each of these spheres of life, be it karma yoga, be it meditation, be it the essential way of living, what happens after death, what is good, what is bad, what are the gunas and how do they affect me, right? So this entire 18 chapters, encompassing 700 verses, is that essential teaching. And each part of the way, Lord Krishna is there to give us a clear understanding. So each place he asks Arjuna, have you got clarity? Is the understanding clear for you? Even, so to say, even in the 18th chapter also Bhagavan asks him, is it clear now, Arjuna? Is there something pending? Right? He is not making decisions. He is not telling him how to win the war and all. No. He is not restricting his teaching to that particular war. He is giving us the knowledge for each confusion we might have in our life. And each point of the way, he is checking with us whether we have gained clarity. Okay, such that it should be that this Gita should be something which becomes our companion. It should be something that we pick up, as we said, and just read. This is what even Gurudev has done, right? He made this Gita as a tool where to reach out to the masses, where our vision for the Chinmaya mission is what? Maximum happiness to maximum people for the maximum time, right? And what better way than the Gita way of living to do that? And therefore, he started the Gita chanting for the children. And then as we come to our youth, he gave them the art of man making. He did these talks on the All India radio in that time, where he had daily sessions of 15 minutes, and he spoke on the Gita in such a way that youth could connect to 2 verses a day. He even went on to say in the epilogue that this, if it can be translated and brought out in book form and given to everyone in a language which they can understand, it could be read out to children, and they could listen to the talk and they could read out and impregnate these thoughts, this entire logic of living, this science of man making, as he referred to, right? So that we become empowered to face all battles of life, so that we become that equipped Arjuna to face the Kurukshetra. Not just the Kurukshetra, of course for him it was the Kurukshetra, right? But for us it is whatever field we are in. To know what is that which is the field of my highest potential, where I can live to perfection, where I can bring in efficiency to the proficiency which is mine, right? So thus it has come to us, and of course we should take this opportunity to not just understand it but also live it. So our effort in these sessions will be to do that. Today was just an introduction to this. I hope this will be clear to you. And tomorrow onwards the next session onwards we'll take the Gita Dhyanam, which will tell us the glory of this Bhagavad Gita through Madhusudan Saraswati ji's beautiful 9 verses that he has given, which is said to be Gita Dhyanam, the contemplation on the Gita. And then we will go forth into the first chapter. Okay. So for the, someone has asked, can we have the PDF of the text? So one is that, fine, I can try, we will have, I'll just see how we can do that. I would suggest that, we have Gurudev's Holy Gita, right? Swami Chinmayananda ji's Holy Gita. You can check this entire book. It is a treasure by itself. You will see in the index itself, right? Gurudev has given a beautiful index where he says, direct guidance for your problems. And there are topics listed, and it shows which chapter, which verse, right? Like, who is God? How does confusion affect us? What does delusion do to us? Right? Down to, how is, what is that which is the science which Yogeshwara Krishna and the Dhanurdhara Partha, what is it that they are revealing to us, right? Then down to even, which portion is relevant to whom. For youth, which is the portion that we should refer to. For politicians, which is the portion that one can refer to. For leaders, who can benefit, which are the verses, right? So what is sincerity in devotion? As you think, so you become. And then paths to reach that final goal. How should we take that? So many topics Gurudev has mentioned. So one book is, of course, this Holy Gita, which you can look at. Other is, in this only, you will have chapter-wise Bhagavad Gita. You can check up. I will check it and maybe put it in the WhatsApp group. You could check that book. You can order it online also. The verses, of course, now verses are available online. Even the Gita site, super site is also there, etc. We can check that. I will also have PDF of that. I can send you the verses. That's not a problem. Okay. So I hope that benefits all, right? And we'll meet in the next class. We'll close with prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Hari Om.